Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to this week's episode of the Shineability Show. If you haven't been here before, my name is Robin Carberry. I'm a business coach and I help Gen X women start, build, and scale successful online businesses. Now, I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs in things like offer development, funnel strategy, launching, and more. But what I truly love is helping Gen X service-based experts grow their businesses like the grown-ass women they are. So I come here live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to talk about why online business strategy and marketing strategy for grown-ass women is different. So last week's episode of the Shineability Show, I talked about how to break up with a problem client. This week, I'm going to talk about the flip side. What do you do when you get ghosted? So just in case you don't know, ghosting is the practice of ending a relationship with someone by suddenly and without explanation withdrawing from all communication. And it's sadly as common in the online space as it is in the dating world. So one day everything's sunshine and roses, you're chatting with your client or your prospective client, you're working on the project, or you send them a proposal, and just like that, they disappear. Radio silence to your emails and your DMs. So ghosting happens most often before you actually get hired, which sucks. But sometimes it happens after you started a project and you send an invoice and you don't get paid. The client's disappeared. Poof. And that sucks even more. So what do you do when you get ghosted? First, take a deep breath because you need to determine whether you've actually been ghosted. Keep in mind, we live in a busy, hectic, crazy world. People get involved in what's going on in their own lives and their own businesses, and they may just simply have lost track of time. It's not an intentional thing. They don't mean to ghost you. They just, your email got lost. It went to spam. It got buried under a pile of other stuff. So start by reaching out to them in a friendly way just to check in. If you sent them a proposal, go ahead and resend it just in case they didn't receive it. If you sent an invoice, go ahead and send that again with a message along the lines of, just in case you missed this, I know how busy you are type of thing. Next, if we're talking about a proposal and you don't hear back from them after that friendly, polite reach out or within an agreed upon time frame, it's time for the magic email. So what's the magic email? It's a very simple one-line email. Your subject line would be something along the lines of Ray proposal. And then the email has one line in it. Since I have not heard from you on this, I have to assume your priorities have changed. That's it. That's all there is to it. And it is surprisingly effective. You'd be shocked how often that just kicks things into gear and gets people to respond to you. Now, if you don't hear back after the magic email, it's time to move on. Some folks are going to encourage you to keep going back to that prospective client until you get a hard no. I understand the reasoning behind that, but in my experience and from my perspective, that is an energy drain for you and an energy drain for that prospective client. And that's really not good for anybody. So you've already poured enough time into this effort through your discussions and developing the proposal. If they don't respond to the magic email, please just move on to other projects, to other positive focuses in your business. Now, if you've done work for the client and they stop responding to you or don't pay an invoice, and crickets are the only response to your polite follow-up, it's time to consider what your options are, and you do have a few options. First, reach out to them again to notify them that you are terminating the contract under the provisions that have to do with non-communication and non-payment. Include a final invoice along with that email and be clear, very clear, as in a specific date here. Give them a specific date to respond to your email and pay that final invoice. So you'd say something along the lines of, I'm enclosing my final invoice. The amount due is currently overdue. Please respond to this email and pay my final invoice in full by specific date. Now, above all, please be a human and be polite when you send this email. You really, even though your client's not acting like a professional, you have no idea what is going on in their life right now. So please be a human, be kind, be patient, be polite, even if you're pissed off. And I know you're pissed off because believe me, I've been there. Now, if you don't receive a response by the deadline you noted in your communication, you need to make a decision about how far you actually want to take this. If the amount is owed to you is not really significant, you may decide that it is not worth your time and energy to pursue it any further. And believe me, your time and energy is worth something, and often it's worth more than whatever remains to be paid on that invoice. So if you decide to pursue the matter further, you can send a demand letter, or you can contact an attorney and have the attorney send a demand letter for you. So there's templates for demand letters online. You can find them pretty easily. But sometimes an attorney's signature actually will be the thing that will make your client take action and reach out and take care of the situation. Make sure the letter is sent via certified mail with a return receipt requested, just in case you decide you need to pursue the matter further if they don't respond to you. So other options that you have, if you pay them via PayPal, you can do a chargeback through PayPal, or you could do a chargeback through your credit card company. Just know that you need to have proof of the work that you did and that you did the appropriate communications with the client. Now, if all else fails, you may decide to sue, in which case you definitely need to contact an attorney if you haven't already done so. Now, I am not an attorney and this is not legal advice, but I worked at a law firm for 16 years, and I can tell you from personal experience and from my personal viewpoint that lawsuits are really costly, not just in terms of money, but in terms of your emotional well-being. And there's no guarantee that you're going to win, even if you are 100% completely in the right. And I can also tell you that even people who win often feel like it wasn't worth the effort to them in terms of the emotional and psychological toll that it took on them to go through the entire process. So just be really clear about your motivations, about the amount of money that's at issue, and what it's going to cost you in terms of your time and energy to pursue things to that level. So being ghosted sucks. There's no two ways about it. I know I have been ghosted. I get it. But there are loads of good clients out there who are waiting for you to help them. So take the steps that are right for you in your business. Be a good human. Be a grown-ass woman. Be a professional when you get ghosted, and then move on. So that is it for today. Please let me know if you have any questions. Go ahead and drop them in the comments. Even if you're watching this on replay, I always come back and respond after the fact. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.